I signed for them after the Euros, and after my first day's training, I was driving home. I was actually thinking,
regretting it.
what have I done? Like I walked into a circus.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Right, Deal or No Deal is fast becoming the Manchester United saga. Here we go. Manchester United are lining up a £43 million bid for Lyon's French forward Moussa Dembele following Marcus Rashford's back injury. How far does he go to filling the Rashford-sized hole in Manchester United squad? Phil Egan, good morning to you.
Good morning, yeah. He is a little bit different to Rashford, whereas Rashford is an out-and-out 9. Dembele is. But, you know, he could play out wide, but he wouldn't be as effective as Rashford. And I think we've pretty much said it all this month that you just have no confidence in United getting any deal done. Like, here we are another day in and still waiting.
Is this the deal to do, though? Like, £43 million for a guy who scored, 11 goals and 17 appearances, so I have it here in front of me in Ligue 1 this season. A good league scoring record. He's 23 years old, so the returns from that over the next couple of years, he might get to 15 and 17. Still an exceptional record in any given league. But you flip the table, you put Marcus Rashford into that position, playing for Lyon in Ligue 1. Is he scoring a goal a game as a number 9? Is he scoring more than a goal? Like, is the ratio higher? Is the drop-off for Marcus Rashford to Moussa Dembele, which definitely exists, is that worth a £43 million outlay because a guy's injured?
Well, you might not. He might score the goals that qualifies you for the Champions League. It's unlikely, but he might, right? And at which point all of this becomes a really good investment. If you have no strikers, which at this stage we're looking at, it's going to be Martial.
Martial, you've got Greenwood, who obviously is one for the future, but it's a hell of a lot to ask for.
And Martial also, again, best ability is availability, not always available.
Yeah, plus when it came down to the real big moment at Anfield on Sunday,
how do you
he blew it. He smashed it over the bar when usually you'd back him in that situation.
So it's here, right? So Cavani is the other one, right? Let's do this one. As predicted in yesterday's Deal or No Deal, Man United are being linked with a big cash offer for Edinson Cavani. He handed in a transfer request yesterday. It's believed he hoped he could force a move through to Atletico Madrid. The latest report is Atletico have 10 million on the table. Man United could slide in to snap up the attacker for a fee of just below 30. That's how this works. 10, no, I'll bid 30. What about 11 or 12? There are other numbers between 10 and 30 that you might try first there, Mr. Woodward. If I'm a Man United fan, I want them to spend the 40 million on a 23-year-old who's been around, who's been at Celtic, who's been at Fulham, who's now scoring goals at a really good clip for Lyon, who's showing progression all the time, rather than Cavani, who is this short-term option, who's going to come in on the absolute massive wages. Like, Cavani has all the hallmarks of an Alexis Sanchez.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be that bad because it'd be hard to be that bad.
Exactly.
I see where you're coming
Where's
from.
Where's the ceiling for Cavani? The ceiling is
4 years ago, 3 years ago.
Longer, even.
It's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And there is no way you will get an improvement from Edinson Cavani than what we've already seen from him. But the thing is that what we've already seen from him and what would be appetising to Manchester United has happened 3 seasons ago. So they're not going to be able to get that. He's old. If they're actually going to agonise over who they're going to sign and not actually get the wallet out, then why would they actually just splash it on Edinson Cavani? At least keep your powder dry and put in some sort of long-term plan. Don't just get completely overexcited and splash out on this guy. He could become the next Radamel Falcao, I think.
Yeah, but the problem is that you mentioned the long-term plan. They don't seem to have one. They talk about having one. They obviously signed Daniel James and Aaron Wan-Bissaka's of that age profile. Harry Maguire is still quite young, even though he's got a lot of experience in the last couple of years. But so then it doesn't look like they're going to sign Cavani. But then if they sign Dembele, what does that do? He's 23. Does that stunt maybe what Mason Greenwood does? Because this is what Ibrahimovic did at United. He
stunted
Rashford and Martial. Not only did he come in, he took Martial's jersey off him, his number, where Martial is basically told, Zlatan's coming in, give over your number 9 jersey. He's since got it back.
He won a Europa League though, so that got them into the Champions League.
He didn't win the Europa League. He didn't play in the final.
Well,
he won the League Cup.
Okay, but help him get there though with the goals over the course of the season. I get the point, right? I think with Dembele, though, he's of an age where you can rotate him in and out. He doesn't have to be... So everybody gets to play, and you've got strength and depth, and they're your forwards going forward, and everybody's happy, right? There's competition here. They can all kind of play a little bit of everywhere, and you can mix and match, and you can play 2 up front if you need to. You can play all 3. You can have Greenwood in reserve and bring him along slowly. That makes sense. Cavani is like a short-term sticking plaster for 30 million quid, plus all the wages, and then next season he'll be out of the team largely, hardly ever playing, taking up a big fat chunk of your salary. No. Just say no to that kind of stuff.
The Dembele deal, the reason I don't think it will happen is also Leon are short in that Depay is out for the season with the cruciate injury. Now they're after bringing in Akanji, the centre forward from Villarreal, but I've seen him play. He's a bit raw, so it's not as if Leon are saying, "Oh, we've got this Akanji guy in. Now we can get rid of Dembele."
Yeah, maybe
that's a serious drop off.
Maybe in the summer when they get some game time for him as well. Okay, so out of 10, how likely is Cavani to go to Old Trafford?
0.
I was going to be a bit more positive. I had 1 written down.
Okay, right. Frank Lampard has opened up on the possibility of Chelsea entering the race to sign Cavani. He's a great player. I played against him. I always loved his mentality. Obviously, his goal-scoring record speaks for itself. I'm not absolutely aware of what the situation is, so we'll see. I think we're young and we know about the transitions. The idea of bringing in experience is something I'm not absolutely looking away from. What does that mean? Sometimes the young players need a little bit of help. Should Lampard sign Cavani?
No, well, I think he definitely... I think when somebody talks about a player like this in such a public manner... Yeah, so it's like, this is the... Chelsea and Manchester City are both playing the let's snare Manchester United transfer market game, which in fairness is unbelievable crack to play and we all enjoy it. So fair play to him for getting involved in it, Frank Lampard. But he's 100% playing that game. Look at this amazing thing that I'm very interested in getting. If only another big club would come in and break my heart and actually sign him, then I would be very, very disappointed, is basically what he's saying here. Manchester United could be that guy who comes in and snatches Edinson Cavani away, and Frank Lampard has won the game.
He'd actually be more suited to playing for Chelsea. And I think he'd have more success at Chelsea. They'd create more chances and...
Slash London club.
The thing that's obviously they're missing this season is they're creating all the chances, but lo and behold, who knew that Eden Hazard not being there to grind out those 1-0 wins when they can't put away the chances would be a miss. So Cavani, like, what does it do if Lampard signs him? Then it basically says, yeah, you've given up on the kids already.
They haven't. Again, he's short term. Like it makes some sense for Chelsea to do that, given the
he's basically replacing Giroud.
Exactly.
And he'd be better than Giroud.
Yeah, I mean, not much better than Giroud.
But he's a bit more mobile, and like Giroud actually technically is a decent player, but he's not as quick. And Chelsea want to zip it around, and Cavani be more suited for them.
All right. Sporting Lisbon coach Emmanuel Ferro has played down the prospect of Portugal's 25-year-old midfielder Bruno Fernandes, who's been linked with Man United leaving the club in January. This was a done deal a week ago.
We have an embargo on Bruno Fernandes.
We have an embargo.
Sick of this guy.
Yeah.
A lot of talk about him leaving. I believe that outside people feel this more than us. We don't feel it. We don't feel Bruno's thinking about leaving. He's competitive and involved. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Liverpool is the preferred destination for RB Leipzig and Germany striker Timo Werner, who's only 23 and wants to play in the Premier League, according to Bild. Chelsea and clubside are reported to be interested in the attacker. 24 goals, 25 appearances for Leipzig this season, and a release clause of 60 million.
That's the sort of ratio you're looking for when you're bringing in a young prospect, and it's in Bundesliga rather than Ligue 1. So straight away, you've got Liverpool linked with a far more complete prospect than Moussa Dembele.
For an extra 15 million.
Exactly. Totally worth it, 60 million quid. Will he be a Liverpool player, though, is the question. And I don't think so. The question, I would say, is around the wages. What would Timo Werner command at Anfield? Perhaps not that much.
Well, Leipzig, I know, obviously they're top of the Bundesliga, and there's a very good chance that they could actually win it. So he could demand high wages, but certainly he wouldn't be looking for massive wages. Salah's the top earner on 200 grand.
Yeah, and I do think that people are turning down. So apparently Oxlade-Chamberlain turned down more money at Arsenal than Liverpool offered him to stay, and he ended up going. Don't make me sick, says Tommy. So that's just Liverpool propaganda, he says.
The thing is, Werner, if he wants to join Liverpool, if Liverpool want him, they can get him, because that's where they are at the moment. And
That's a good time. Now is a good time to do that business, though. If there's a buyout clause there, get him in now.
Yeah.
Not play that much over the rest of the season. Be able to rest.
there's no way Leipzig are letting them go.
Well, if there's a
No.
buyout clause, what can you do?
I can't
You
see.
can't. You got it. I trigger your clause. I lodge the money.
Was Naby Keita not their best player when Liverpool came into to swoop? And that was before they've gone on this incredible run.
Yeah, no, I just think with Leipzig, they're obviously in the middle of a title race, as are Liverpool, but Klopp doesn't need him now. But he certainly could fit into the team because it gives Klopp the opportunity to play a 4-2-3-1. You play, obviously, Salah and Mane out wide. You play Firmino in behind him.
All right.
Then
Ooh.
you have your shields of Henderson and Fabinho, but it also gives you more chance to rotate with that
Crush
formation
teams.
because
Yeah.
Minamino then can come in there. Obviously,
Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Oxlade-Chamberlain, there's definitely a lot of possibilities there. Yeah.
That suddenly is like a big thing for.
And actually, watching Liverpool this season, there's so many games where they've won, but you think they should have absolutely obliterated the opposition, where maybe they're just missing that guy down the centre, just banging goals.
Christian Eriksen, still not an Inter Milan player. Inter will offer 12.8 million plus add-ons to sign him. This is a cheap deal. He's 27. I'm amazed that they're the
He's
only
an old
club.
27 though.
He's fine. He's gonna fall in love with the game again. His little child is gonna come out. Liverpool are not willing to let Xherdan Shaqiri, 28, his inner child, I meant, leave the club this month amid interest from Roma, who want to pick him up on loan. Why not?
He's handy to have because injuries happen. You think back to the second leg of the semi-final against Barca. Shaqiri starts, set up one of Wijnaldum's goals. Handy to have players like that in the team, especially if Liverpool, they've a decent draw in the Cup this weekend. They could actually...
Stick him in, play that game.
Yeah, you know,
Right.
the likes of Origi and Shaqiri are important.
Pep Guardiola. Kill the League Cup. Is he right?
No. There was a 5-5 draw in the League Cup, which resulted in an unbelievable penalty shootout this year. This is the sort of move towards a club World Cup or European Super League or some nonsense like that. Pep Guardiola can't just come in and scrap the League Cup.
That wouldn't
He needs to
stop it,
rewatch
though.
the 5-0.
A League Cup wouldn't stop this Super League happening. Like, if
I
that's
think
going
he
to
stopped
happen...
the Super League happening.
No, if
That's
it's gonna
it.
happen-
It just shows
We're
the
on the road
attitude
to-
towards it.
Well,
on the
no,
road
I
to
think
hell.
the game, it's quite clear watching the game that players are being the demands on players has increased a hell of a lot in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And Harry Kane has gone could be from the Euros, Rashford playing through the pain barrier, the pressures of having to play through the pain barrier. Raheem Sterling has played more than 3,000 minutes. He could be the next one that suffers an injury.
That's on them for not using all the money they had to build a bigger squad. That's Pep's fault, I think. And
They were restricted by FFP. Sure.
well, yeah, because they did a great job of getting around that. Right, end of Deal or No Deal.